Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, yes, tamu sana. Yesterday, Raila Odinga and Fred Matiangi were in Nyamira at a function. Then during that occasional function, Fred Matiangi endorsed Raila Odinga for the presidency. And also Raila Odinga, on the other hand, leaked out some information that caught Kenyans by a surprise, that Raila Odinga had agreed to support a Fred Matiangi presidency, and that was largely the feeling and opinion of the system or the deep state in this case. So Kenyans have been talking. How comes now the deep state changed their mind and withdrew their support for a Fred Matiangi presidency and threw their weight behind Raila Amolo Odinga? That's the discussion that Kenyans have been talking for the better part of today. So, in this video right now, I want us to really understand and look into details why the deep state changed their mind on supporting Fred Matiangi for the presidency. That's our analysis and discussion today. So if in case you've just bumped on this YouTube channel for the very first time, kindly subscribe and give this video a like. Give it a like, please. Give it a like. Thank you. God bless you. I believe there are 5 reasons that explains why the deep state changed their mind on supporting a Fred Matiangi presidency. I believe there are 5 reasons. The first reason, ladies and gentlemen, I tend to believe that Fred Matiangi has no grassroots support or grassroots network. So the deep state felt that assuming they could have pushed on with a Fred Matiangi candidature, they were setting themselves for a failure. And especially that Fred Matiangi in this case was going to face an intimidating and a strong opponent in the make of William Ruto. I tend to feel that the deep state felt that they were trying to fight a losing battle. So they might have dropped that idea. Yes. And then secondly, ladies and gentlemen, to win a presidential election in Kenya, you also need some financial muscles. If you look at Fred Matiangi, and then you look at his competitors, the likes of Raila and Ruto, those ones, their pockets are good. So in this case again, the deep state felt that assuming they could have pushed a Fred Matiangi, they could have been first in the first place, going against the will of the people, and then secondly, they could have bankrolled almost all Fred Matiangi's campaigns. So it could have turned the deep state in one side, looking for votes for Fred Matiangi, and also bankrolling his campaigns. So that alone might have now forced the deep state to go back to the drawing board to look for a candidate who had built himself on the ground and a candidate who had enough financial muscles to mount a successful presidential campaign. I believe that's the second reason. And then thirdly, folks, to win an election, or rather to be president, there are also foreign interests. And if you look at Fred Matiangi, he is just Fred Matiangi. He has no recognizable, or rather recognized international network. He has no international network anywhere. Recognized international network anywhere. So again, foreign interest again, from reliable sources, ladies and gentlemen, might have pushed or pressed the president, Uhuru Kenyatta, to drop the idea of a Fred Matiangi candidature or presidency. Foreign powers, the big boys, they want somebody they know they can work with. In this case, Fred Matiangi was coming out as somebody who is not known. He's little known. So, the big boys could not really trust him because now assuming he wins the presidency, he could not be trusted because he's not known. He has not dealt with some of these big boys, so they don't know him. Yes. So I tend to feel, ladies and gentlemen, that might have also played a role in making the deep state and the government to withdraw their support for Fred Matiangi. Yes. And then fourthly, you know, in the handshake team, besides Raila Odinga, we also had the likes of Kalonzo, Mudavadi, Gideon, and also Wetangula. All these luminaries, or rather these big boys, they were all angling for an endorsement from President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Yes, they were all angling for that endorsement. And deep inside them, they felt and believed that Uhuru Kenyatta would just endorse maybe one of them. So assuming again, Uhuru Kenyatta could have bypassed or rather surpassed all of them just to end up endorsing a little known person in the name of Fred Matiangi, somebody who has never contested for any elective seat before, somebody who has known grassroots support. I tend to believe, ladies and gentlemen, that could have triggered a mass walkout from Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. And in the event there could have been a mass walkout, the person who could have gained as a result of that was none other than William Ruto. And you will largely agree with me that the government, the person they are planning to stop is William Ruto. So assuming there could have been a mass walkout from Uhuru Kenyatta, the person who could have gained more would have been William Ruto. And that's the same thing the government, or rather the deep state, was trying to avoid or to block that kind of a person. Yes, there could have been a mass walkout. And also on top of that, you know, Raila Amolo Odinga, I know maybe Raila could have just said Matiangi Tosha, because he has said that before. We saw it with Kibaki. But now if you look at Raila supporters, how could they have reacted to that? Because if you look again at these people in the handshake team, it's only Raila who comes out as somebody with a support that cuts across the country. That's a given fact. So assuming Raila could have overlooked all that, and then it throws his weight behind a Fred Matiangi, I know that could have created a serious voter apathy amongst a majority of his supporters. And that could have played to the advantage of William Ruto. So also the deep state, or rather the system, might have looked at that factor again and decided that assuming they could have pushed a Fred Matiangi presidency, they were definitely going to lose that election. Yes, because with what we have seen in Kenya with the deep state and the system, they just do some little top-up. They don't turn themselves into now serious voters. They just do the little top-ups. And then finally, yes, you know, there is also what we call the project. This tag the project. And assuming the system could have pushed a Matiangi presidency, then Matiangi could have been a project. No doubt about that. Because Matiangi has never contested for any elective seat before. He had no clout on the ground. He could have just been relying on the support from the government. So in that case, it could have been a true example of a project. And that could have given fodder to Matiangi's competitors, the likes of Oka, William Rutos. They could have really used that effectively against Fred Matiangi. Because you will also agree with me again that in the event, the system could have pushed a Fred Matiangi candidature, then Matiangi could have been a true project. Yes. I don't know what you think, ladies and gentlemen. You can also drop your comment so that I can also know what you think. But just as I did indicate when we were starting, if you've just bumped on this YouTube channel for the very first time, subscribe, give this video a like. Give it a like, please. Give it a like. Thank you. God bless you. To those watching us outside Kenya, for the very first time, drop a comment and let us know from which part of the globe you are watching us from. Drop a comment, please. Drop a comment. To our fans and subscribers in this YouTube channel, I'm very much grateful. We have just hit the 13,000 fan base. I'm very, very much happy about that. And this is largely because of the support you are giving me in this YouTube channel. I'm very, very much humbled. God bless you. God bless Kenya. Tamu sana, tamu sana, tamu sana.